Hello guys, welcome back. I'm looking to build some longs on the S&P and Nasdaq right now. This is the all-time high on the S&P, the 6,800. We have broken it, traded above it a bit. Then we created this double top. Then we have fallen into this 50 MA, which I do believe it will hold. I do have some empty shops imbalances down here below the price. So I will expect some buyers to come into occur to hold this price at this price range to then push up again. We know at the all-time highs they like to push up, and whenever it reaches down they like to bid price as it's moving down, which means they're buying from the sellers as price is moving down until they find their feet, they find the place where they like to buy from, and then they will get stuck in that zone to then push up again. So we are effectively waiting for that range to be formed. We're waiting to see where the range will be formed, and then we will build some longs from that position. I can see a lot of it's being stacked as price is dropping, which is good. I got this little volume profile right here at the 97. 50 MA seems like it's holding, so I have to be careful with these longs. I just have to place the trades impulsively, because we can miss these trades. We can miss a long very easily because the price can shoot up from this point very fast. This is also yesterday's high as well, so this is another zone to hold. Some traders from the previous sessions also holding this trade, this zone. You can see how no one is really selling, which is good, and they are not able to drop. So I will go long with 5 micros. I can get filled. There we go, we are fully filled on the full position. I'll bid some longs on the S&P as well, or on the Nasdaq. Power meters showing a bit more selling on both contracts. Let's just watch the DOM and, see what happens. Just the usual business. 176 on the bids. 117 right here. That got pulled, but it will come back. Just gonna monitor this range. Nasdaq's moving as well. We can see the positive delta shifting. That's good. The offers are still bigger than the bids. We just need to see that shift. Now we can see more buyers on the S&P, which is good. 50 MA is still holding. I need to see them push above this 5 and 13 EMA. And the only way we're gonna know that is, of course, if you pay attention to the DOM. We need to see buyers coming in, hitting into the market. We need to see some intention of people wanting higher prices. We need to see offers being pulled. We need to see some huge offers being stacked at the highs, at the tops right here, because we know people, they like to transact on those big offers. They make money on the spread on every contract traded. So the more time we spend here, and the more time I see sellers coming in, but they are not able to drop down, the more conviction I'm gonna have that they will push up, which is happening right now. So I'll build some longs on the Nasdaq as well. Just build 3 micros as well on the Nasdaq. If they do flush this zone, then yeah, I do believe they will drop down. If they flush this 9675. Right now it's 3 p.m., 3:20 CT, so in 10 minutes the market will open. So yeah, I am trading the pre-market, which sometimes is a good thing to do, because they like to front-run price. They like to front-run price before the market actually opens, which they did right here. And then I just got in on a retrace down. and then in 10 minutes or even before the New York Open, if this move to the upside is true, they will just push up even before the market open. So we will see some aggressive moves to the upside very shortly. And if not, then we will just see price slowly ticking down, dropping, which could also be a good thing because there, as I said, when we are at all-time highs, every time price drops down, people are seeing that as okay, it's time to buy S&P and Nasdaq, they're dropping, now they're on the discount, and then they can buy from the lower point to then push up and sell at a higher point, because of course that's the reason people trade, you know, buy low, sell high. And as I said, we just need to see a zone where they will do that sort of thing, where they will consolidate to then push up. We can see the S&P is dropping, Nasdaq is following as well, in a bit of a loss. That's okay. We are using micros, of course, as always when I trade the opens. That's my rule. It's very important to follow the rules in trading. That's the only thing we have. We all know the markets are unpredictable, they can do whatever they want. The only thing we can do is just focus on how we trade, focus on how we follow the rules, what strategy we will use to trade, how we will behave when we are in a loss or a win, how we behave at the end of the session, at the beginning of the session, and all that stuff. That's the only thing we can do, and that's very important to know. It seems like we'll just have to wait for the New York to open, which is in 7 minutes. I can't really see any aggressive moves to the upside that actually give me conviction that, yeah, they will push up before the open. But I've seen us do that sort of thing. I think it's possible. Just gotta wait. We can notice on the Nasdaq, I'm sure you guys see it, we can see the negative delta at the lows, but they're not able to break down, which is good. You can also see how they drop down to this 2350, and you saw a quick push to the upside. You can see some buyers coming in as price is dropping. Those are the little clues that you have to follow. We can see bids matching the sells, so they are buying from the sellers. Let's see if they can hold this zone. If they can, that Nasdaq will hold. If Nasdaq holds, S&P will hold as well. If Nasdaq pushes up, S&P does the same, of course. They're correlated, we all know that. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is the 1700 on the bids or on the offers. They're happily stacking at the all-time highs, which is not ideal, but it's also a good thing because they like to buy the all-time highs. For some reason, people like to buy when price rises, even though it's very expensive right now. A lot of people bought here, and very little people actually wait for these retraces down. So yeah, we saw that quick push to the upside right now. Let's see if Nasdaq holds. Still have more buyers on the parameters, but then as Nasdaq completely loses that range again. 5 minutes till the New York opens. Quick push again. This could be the start of a move up. 32. But no one's really buying, but I'm also seeing people pulling from the offers. But they're doing the same on the bids. So yeah, I just think they will wait for the New York to open. Yeah, just gotta be patient. Two minutes still open. Buyers are coming in, sellers are coming in. Now we can see bids coming close to match the amount of offers, which is good. 170 is still there. Then second still open. You can see the price is droppy. Yeah, I was right with them not wanting higher prices before the open. Now we'll see their true intention. This move to the upside can happen in seconds. Just gotta be careful. Drops down. You can see how fast price is moving. That's why I use small size. There's a drop on Nasdaq. That's a big candle to the downside. But then Nasdaq pushes up just as fast. That's good. 109, 100. Also seeing some sellers. 195. Gotta mark it off. It looks to build some longs from the lows from this point. Nice push up. There we go. Let's see if I can add some longs on the Nasdaq. S&P is moving up, but Nasdaq is dropping down, so I'll build some longs on the Nasdaq again. Buyers coming in on the S&P. Then we see a drop down. But they're still holding this volume profile that they have created. We saw drop down. We saw sellers coming in, but they were absorbed. And now they could be getting trapped. They will fuel this move to the upside even more. There's the push. I'm gonna add five more micros. There's the push on Nasdaq good. S&P moves as well. 220 on the buy side. Mark it off. All-time high is very close. The previous all-time high. 1900 on the bids. That's a lot of bids. That's good. You can see how first they dropped at the open and then they pushed up. They always like to trap shorts. They always like to make longs, get out from their positions, and then move to the original point they wanted to. There's the push. Very good. Nice. 215 to 115. Still seeing buyers coming in. Still no reason to get out. Very strong push to the upside. Strong volume. There we go. This should be my exit. The all-time high. But Nasdaq does receive a sharp drop down. A lot of sellers came in. Have to be careful. Using a bit more size. Yeah, you can see they dropped just as quickly. Damn. Can Nasdaq push up? I can see bids being refreshed. So bids are here, which is good. Let's see if they can hold. 248 on the buy side, 219 or 290. So overall, I'm seeing much more buying than selling, which is good. And they do like to sweep these highs. They do like to sweep the highs. They know a lot of people are at the highs. It's just a matter of fact if they will do it fast or slow. You know, how long will it take them? And we saw from yesterday that S&P and Nasdaq are not really correlated as much as they should be. Let's just be patient, wait and see what happens. Sorry guys, I had to take a phone call, but I was monitoring this move. Hope you guys saw the same things I did. We saw this cluster of buys that came in here. Nasdaq pushed up but then came back down. I can see S&P is covering a lot more ground than the Nasdaq. We came very close to the all-time highs. We barely scratched it, or we didn't even touch it. But this previous all-time high is holding out very well. We can see not that much buys coming in, which to my edge means I should probably get out, but I'm seeing a three-digit buying on the Nasdaq. Still power meters are showing more buying. 145, then it came down. Yeah, I'm just gonna take profits on the Nasdaq or lock them in. I'm not looking to risk anymore. Nice push, very good. Just take the profits. Trail my stop. S&P still moving up. That's a lot of sellers, but you can see bids being matched. So that's a clue to still hold the trade. And unless they drop, pulling from the bids, this could be a jump down. I'm just gonna take some profit. I believe have a contract in the on the charts. $2,000 on the bids, 2,200 on the offers. So you can see there is a shift. Delta is now a bit negative, more than I want to see. There's the drop, but bids are there. Bids are there. 227 on the buy side came in the same place where this 220 buy came in. I also have this cluster of buys that happened previously as well. Let's see if they can hold. Yeah, I'm not seeing buyers as prices moving up. Look, 817, 1826. If they drop below, I'm out. If they do drop below, I'm out. Again, you see, no one's buying. There's the push. Can they sustain this move? Not bad. See, this is what I say when I mean use less size when you trade the opens. Anything can happen. What worked before maybe wouldn't work now. You saw how we didn't really see any buyers coming in, but then an influx of buyers came in and then quickly pushed price up. And they're gonna drop down just as quickly, yeah. Yeah, this previous all-time high is acting as a wall. You can see they break above it to come back down. They break above it to come back down. Sellers coming in from the same places before. This is where they dropped off. So if the memory of the market still holds true, they could drop down from this point again. You can see they're pulling from the bids until unless we see an influx of buyers, which could happen because we are at the all-time highs. 173, 175, drops down again. This is aggressive selling at the highs, but I've seen this before. You can see that these retraces down are not as big. Can they hold? And then it drops down. 171, that's a nice push up. Can I see some more buyers pulling from the offers? Nasdaq needs to move up, S&P will follow. Lack of selling. But what did we say before? Even though there is lack of selling, they could still push up. This zone is attracting a lot of attention. There are a lot of people trading right now. 6,800 has been breached again. You can see the choppy range, how horrible this is. Goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. If again we see sellers coming in the 3-digit form, I'm just gonna get out. Takes the little profits I have from this trade and then look for the next opportunity. Can they even reach this point? This 801. Come on, Nasdaq, push up. We can see positive delta here. That's a nice push, but S&P is not following Nasdaq. The Nasdaq drops. So you can see how I'm building my story in the head of this trade. How I'm repeating the same stuff. That's the thing that I always say in my videos. You know, I do apologize to people when I say I'm always repeating the same stuff, but it's what you have to do. You just have to build a story in your head. And when you say it out loud, it makes sense. You know, it makes sense why you're holding the trade, why you exit the trade, why you should maybe add or subtract or take some profits, or where your TP should be or stop. That's how I concentrate. That's how I trade. You can see pulling from the bids, moves up 3 on the buy side, and we see a quick drop down. I'm just gonna get out. Get out to take a bit of a loss. Yeah, we just didn't see that flush to the upside. I said if they move up to this point one more time and then reject it, I should probably get out. But they couldn't even reach that point, and then they just dropped, lost this range. So yeah, not a bad trade. We still profited. I'm just gonna see how much we profited. So we made around 280 bucks with fees. Not bad. Not bad, solid trade. Just cancel this order. I will continue to trade. I just don't think I will film it, because when I usually film trades, I don't want to say I trade badly, but sometimes I do miss the moves that I wouldn't miss, or clues that I wouldn't miss if I wasn't trading, because I like to explain to you guys what I see, what I'm seeing. But yeah, just gonna focus on my own trading, and I'll see you guys in the next video.